Hi everyone, I am Elaine R. Davis, Realtor with Next Home Atlantic Coast, and this is Real Life Treasure Coast. I'm super excited today. We're at Brightway Insurance, and today we are going to be interviewing Michaela Martin and Adam Blake, awesome Brightway Insurance Agency representatives. Let's go talk to them now. Hi Michaela, hi Adam.
Hi.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
We're excited to have you.
Thank you. So let's just get right into it. Brightway Insurance, what type of policies do you offer?
So we are really a personal lines specialized agency. So we offer homeowners, automobile insurance, boat insurance, flood insurance, umbrella liability. We do commercial as well, but we're really focused more on our neighbors and personal lines.
Okay, awesome. I want to get into homeowners insurance because that's super important in real estate, and I always have lots of questions for Michaela. What separates you apart from other agencies?
So here at Brightway, we offer policies to be written with over 40 homeowners carriers, where your average agent might have a handful, but we have appointments with over 40. So based on the characteristics of your home, we kind of just have a larger pool to choose from, and that helps a lot.
Okay, and I noticed, I purchased homeowners insurance through you, so I know that you give that specialized treatment, which is awesome, and it's really good when you're shopping. As a homeowner, what are some things that you can do to reduce your premium?
So the biggest things that you have control over are actually having a newer roof. Unfortunately, older roofs are more and more difficult to insure these days.
And that 15-year line, right? Like that's usually the breaker.
Well,
And it's even less than that nowadays because of the industry and the market. Our carriers are really tightening down on their guidelines. So we've seen from that 15-year mark to 10, and we even just got a notice from one of our carriers 5 years on shingle. So. But
oh my God.
we have that large pool, so it's not every carrier. They all kind of specialize in different areas.
Yeah, and going back to what Michaela was saying, with the variety of carrier appointments, we have a handful that will do roofs between 15 and 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
We have some that will insure homes with roofs over 20 years. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be in a premium range that's exciting, but they can at least get coverage regardless of the age of their roof.
Which is great because I know I called you a couple of times. I have investors that are looking at properties, and sometimes we don't even know how old the roof is, and the biggest thing is, are they going to be able to get insurance on it?
So that's something that I wanted to talk about in the interview, is that here at Brightway, of course the consumer is always worried about the price, but we like to promote the product over the price, because we kind of got off on a tangent, but we want to determine eligibility first. Will your carrier write a policy for your home? And then you can do things, and I'll let Adam speak because I kind of cut him off before, but he can speak to what else we can do to reduce that premium. But eligibility is what you want to determine first.
Yep. So not surprising we went off tangent on roofs, because that's always the number
I
one
know, I
question
jumped
for
in.
everybody. But other things that people do to reduce premiums, they have proper approved hurricane shutters or impact windows. They have alarm systems, monitored burglar and fire alarm systems. Living in a gated community is a plus. I know they don't really have control over that, but if somebody's shopping and they know that they're in a gated community or a secured community with security patrol, those are things that help it. What am I missing?
You can increase your deductibles. So I know that a lot of, again, when we're determining eligibility, if you're looking at a home that or if you already own a home and you're looking to shop your policy, you don't necessarily have to write a new policy, but maybe look at your deductibles, and if you can increase the deductible and not really have too much to pay out if you do have a claim, then that's always a way to decrease your premium. As well as your personal property. So personal property, most of our companies offer what's called actual cash value versus replacement costs. So the actual cash value will lower your premium because they're going to give you a depreciated amount based on if you need to make a claim, whereas replacement costs will give you full current market value to replace it. But if you don't always have brand new items or things that you're really not worried about the cost of replacing, then that's also a good option to reduce your premium.
Awesome, very valuable information. Talk a little bit more about eligibility. You said eligibility is super important. What are things that make you eligible for a certain policy?
So location is a big one. Some carriers prefer certain locations. Some carriers prefer certain types of homes, like CBS houses versus wood frame houses. Unfortunately, claims history comes in almost all the time now. So if somebody has a history of putting in claims, whether they be big or small, the insurance companies look at that as a risk to make a determination on if they will cover that insured.
And then really just the updates that are that have been made to the home. So buying an older house isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you want to make sure as a homeowner, or if whether you are purchasing a new home or just maintaining your home, that you want to make sure that your main four systems are up to date. So that's your HVAC, your electrical, your plumbing, and your roof. And those all are really big and important factors in eligibility.
Awesome, thank you. Back to hurricane protection. I mean, we're in hurricane season right now. It's Florida. We have so many people moving here. What is that hurricane protection that you talk about? And then also, how can they ensure that they get, whether it's a credit or lower premiums with that hurricane protection?
So opening protection is essentially ensuring that all of the openings of your home are protected by an approved hurricane mitigation device.
Not plywood.
Not plywood. Well, it actually, I mean, most of the time not plywood. There is a thickness to the
Right.
plywood that they would actually allow, but I mean, right now it's cheaper to put an impact window on than the cost of plywood. So, but it has to be all of the openings. So it has to be the garage door. It has to be all what are called glazed openings, which means all the windows in the house. That includes like skylights. That includes the long, slim windows that would be on the side of your front door. That includes the windows on your front door. They all have to be protected either by an impact window or by an approved hurricane shutter. And not all shutters are the same. I'm actually in a situation in my home, which was built in the early 90s, where I have shutters for all my windows, but they're not of the thickness that is required, so I don't get the credit. I would have to upgrade all my shutters to get the credit because they're not the thickness that the state requires to obtain that credit.
And is the credit worth it? I mean, what is the ratio or the opportunity cost in getting that credit?
Every carrier is different. There's no carrier that says a flat amount.
Right.
Usually it's a percentage of the premium, but 9 times out of 10, it is most definitely beneficial to have those. And it doesn't always have to be expensive. For one case, and something I wanted to speak about is the wind mitigation.
Sure.
Their wind mitigation is where it's indicated what kind of coverage that you have. So although your wind mitigation looks at the roof, the second part of it determines whether or not you're going to get that credit. And there's actually a chart that your inspector will fill out. So when you go to purchase a home, I always recommend having those inspections done.
Of course.
Because I had a client that had full opening protection except for those slim windows, and they lost out on over $1,000 worth of a credit. However, we were able to, the home had impact windows except for those, and we were able to they went to Habitat for Humanity or Restore, and they were able to get the trap and then those little shutters just for those 2 windows, and then they qualified for the opening protection. So it's really good to have an agent who knows what they're looking for on a wind mitigation, and instead of just saying, you didn't qualify, to go above and beyond and say, why didn't you qualify and how can we help you get that?
And you definitely do that, I know, because you've worked with myself and you've worked with other referrals, so you do take the time, which I think is so important, and a lot of agencies are not doing that. So congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Definitely. So we talked about hurricane insurance. What are some other challenges, especially in Florida, that people could have with getting insurance, or challenges that you find that you deal with in qualifying eligibility for insurers?
I mean, flood is a big one.
Flood,
You
yes.
know, we're surrounded on all sides by water, even below us, sometimes above us. Right now,
Nobody's
water's
here.
coming from above us too. So there are people that don't necessarily take into account that their home or the home they're buying might be in a flood zone, so they need to account for that. Again, going back to options, one of the things that we do is we work with private carriers, we work with the NFIP, which is the FEMA sponsored program, so we generally give them options. And the options often end up with something that would be affordable. But that's something that people just need to pay attention to when they're looking around.
Because I think a big misconception is, although our homeowners policies cover water damage, that is considered if a pipe bursts or a toilet overflows. That is not flood. Flood
Right.
is outside water rising from the outside in. So any kind of flood is not covered under a normal policy unless it's endorsed specifically, or unless they have a specific or a separate flood policy. So just letting the consumer know that those are completely different things. Although your hurricane coverage is, unless it's excluded, hurricane coverage is included in our homeowners policies. But flood is another part of that we have to consider.
Are there other misconceptions that insurers need to be aware of?
We were talking about this, about the wind mitigation again. I think it was one of your clients who thought that because they would get a wind, when they got a wind mitigation, it would automatically give them a discount.
Right. Someone it was on a thread online. Someone said, just a consumer, not somebody in the insurance business, said, get a wind mit and your insurance premium will go down. And so I kind of went on and I was like, well, if your wind mit shows that you have opening protection, or your roof is connected the proper way to your walls, if you have a good wind mit, it will reduce your premium. If you have a bad wind mit, it will not do you any favors. So wind mits does not equal credits. Wind mits with credits is how you get discounts.
Makes sense. So I think you guys are great. Obviously very knowledgeable. If I was trying to figure out who I wanted to purchase insurance through, why would I come to both of you?
I think our customer service is above and beyond. I started working for the Zampini family agency because I was friends with their family. Our daughters have grown up together, and just our policies as far as customer service, as far as returning a phone call just to communicate rather than leaving a voicemail or sending an email. If we speak to someone and we need to follow up, our policy is that it's done within 24 hours, even if it's just to say I'm still looking into this, because so many times this is an industry where if you don't know much about it, it's so foreign and it can be intimidating. And we're here to let you know we're here to help. We're here to answer your questions, whether or not you choose to write a policy with us. We're here to help you and inform you, so that way you can make an informed decision when you move forward with buying your home or auto or whatever policy it is. Because so many times we're just given a cookie cutter policy, and if it doesn't suit your needs, then it doesn't work for you and it doesn't work for us. So we want to make sure that we're looking at every part of your policy, whether it's a home or auto or whatever it be.
And you bundle those together too?
We absolutely can.
Cool.
Absolutely can. To dovetail on what Michaela's saying, I mean, our agency ownership has almost 50 years of combined experience in the industry. I came on for a similar reason. Experience, knowledge. I think the kind of keyword that I've come into this just feeling confident in is we care enough. We care enough to pick up the phone. We care enough to sometimes make the difficult calls that have to happen if somebody's policy is canceled for whatever reason, to make sure that they know and that, hey, we're going to be here working for you. We're going to help you replace it. We're going to help you get past this. So I think the consultative approach is huge, in that we're not just here to sell you a policy and jam it down your throat. We're here to educate you. This is what you're buying. This is why you need this. This is why a flood policy is important. This is why you don't want to cut down your liability coverage. This is where it can come into play. And it just gives people more peace of mind that it's not just a sales process. It's, we're going to partner in this, and we want you to be our customer for life.
I love that. I love that you mentioned the callback. I can testify that Michaela calls back, she texts, she emails, she does all of that. Adam is great too. And just being willing to have difficult conversations with people. Sometimes in any business, you don't always have the best news, but if you're willing to have those conversations with people, you gain trust very quickly.
Agreed.
What do you want to tell our viewers before I get out of your office?
Just that if you have questions about anything, again, like I said, whether you're here to buy a policy from us or not, we're here to educate you. We are a community family. not only myself, but our agency owners born and raised in Martin County, so we have a stake in our community, and we want to make sure that we're helpful however we can be, whether it benefits us or not.
Yeah, support local business.
I agree. My recommendation is just shop, talk to other people. I think that in the service industry, we have to keep everybody honest, just like in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So I encourage people to call around. I encourage people to leverage resource, and I'm very confident that in our service and the options that we give our clients, that we're going to earn their business.
I am too. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you.
I loved interviewing Adam and Michaela. I already work with Michaela and I met Adam recently. They're so knowledgeable on insurance and they have amazing customer service, super professional, and they're both willing to help, which I love in any industry. So if you're looking for homeowners insurance, if you're looking for automobile insurance, if you want to bundle some of your packages, you definitely need to reach out to Adam or Michaela. And if you need their numbers, you can reach out to me and I will get them for you. Brightway Insurance, Michaela Martin says.